to the Kameron Show. I'm your friend Cameron Tyler. I'm so happy you're here today. We're coming to you from Dude IDK Studios in Denver, and today's guest friend is my cousin, Brenda. Brenda Guzman. Welcome.
Thanks. I'm excited to be here. Finally.
She's not only my cousin, she's co-host of the new podcast, Growth Bites.
With a Z.
With a Z. I was just going to ask.
With a Z.
And I think on Instagram, it's growth.bites with a Z.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So go check out her podcast. Don't worry, we'll be mentioning it again. Brenda, before we get into the depths of our origin story, because we do have
There's
one,
a lot.
because we're not real cousins.
No, we're not.
But, if you know anything about me, I love to just assign people family member names.
I mean, we were at a certain point.
We literally were by marriage. Okay, we'll get there. We'll get there. Brenda, our friends at home might not know you yet. So if you had to introduce yourself to them in 10 words or less, how would you do that?
That's so hard. I can't believe you make people do that.
Well, okay. Start with just one word and then build on it.
How many words?
I mean, you
10.
already said you were going to start with girl.
I'm girl.
Okay.
Mexican. Esthetician.
Oh, yeah.
Nanny. Yeah.
I'm learning new
with
things.
With kids. Work with kids. Okay. And then foodie.
Oh.
Big back. Big back, for sure.
Well, that is one thing we have in common.
And what's another thing?
Podcast host.
And gym goer.
Best life liver.
I'm not scared of just doing things.
No, and we'll be talking about that.
I don't know. I've told you too much.
You have told me too much. And I'm like, girl, you better tell me right now if there's anything we can't talk about on the show. Guess what? There's not.
I said no.
Okay. If you were to close your eyes and envision the aura right now, and it's a mood ring in your mind, what color is the aura right now?
Orange.
Ooh, orange.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I love that. Our most common answer is blue or teal. So that's almost the diametrical opposite.
I got orange just now.
What does orange mean to you?
Means bright, happy.
Oh, okay.
Life. I don't know.
Did you know orange is RuPaul's favorite color?
I did not know that.
Well, I just learned it yesterday, so I'm preaching the gospel. Okay, great. So let's talk about us.
Okay. Favorite stories.
I think that we have known each other for about 16 years. I want to say 2010.
I was a baby.
I mean, no, my mom. Okay, so here's the tea. My mom.
You knew me in high school?
I want to say I did because my mom married your uncle in July of 2011. I had to have known you by then.
Yeah. I graduated in 2012. That's crazy to think that you knew me in high school.
Yeah. And my mom and your uncle.
I think barely, though. We weren't that close.
No, we were not close for sure. But my mom and your uncle were together on and off since 2005, which was 21 years ago.
See, and I didn't even know that timeline because I never asked. And I wasn't that close with my uncle, to talk for personal details like that. And then, I just never asked.
Yeah. So that is how we are cousins. My mom married Brenda's uncle in 2011. They were divorced by 2017 maybe.
Yeah.
But in that time, we had Thanksgivings and birthdays and Christmases, and I don't know.
Vacation.
Oh my God, we did in 2016, I think, or 15 or 16. We went to Los Angeles together.
That was so much fun.
It was so much fun. And it was because my friend Kevin, who is a poet, their poetry got noticed by BuzzFeed. Do you remember this?
Cool. I love that.
And then I was like, oh my God, I want to go on your trip to film a video for BuzzFeed. And then I told my mom, and then my mom and Brenda were like, we want to go to Los Angeles.
We're coming.
And we had so much fun.
Yeah, it was so much fun. I loved going. That was
probably
when
we
one
became
of my favorite,
closer.
Yeah, I think that was the one thing that we just kept hanging out after
that. It was a turning point because I was actually trying to think of that today. I was like, it kind of just happened. And you are younger. How old are you?
31.
yeah, I'm 34. So you're not like way younger than me,
Yeah.
but you are younger than me, which like when you were, like you were saying, in high school, I was in college. We were not that close.
Mm-mm.
But then we go on this trip 10 years ago to Los Angeles. We become close. And even after my mom and Brenda's uncle divorce and go their separate ways, we did not.
We sure did not. I was not letting him go anywhere.
Oh, no. She sure wasn't. And you know what? I love it so much. Now we both live in downtown Denver.
Mm-hmm.
And we kiki all the time. And we have such similarities as going on big healing journeys.
Huge.
Trials and tribulations when it comes to men.
Ugh.
Or relationships, I should say. We should broaden that a little bit. And on top of that, we've gone on specific journeys with our mothers.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I feel like very similar, except
Very
now it's a
similar.
little bit different.
Yeah, things have changed a little bit. Let's
Yeah.
talk about that, because I've talked on this show about my relationship with my mom, which is that we are estranged.
Mm-hmm.
It is because we simply are not in a place where we could have a productive, trusting relationship, and like that's
Yeah.
okay with me. I think
Yeah.
you know this. I've been on this road for like 4 years now, over 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, we have not gotten to a place yet where my mom and I could go to therapy together even, probably.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think, I mean, I'm in therapy. I just don't know that we could both do that.
Together.
And so right now, I just don't see a path forward, which that has kind of become the journey of just accepting maybe there's not a path forward.
Yeah.
For you, that's a little bit different. Talk to me about your journey with your mom.
Well, me and my mom just never got along,
Mhm.
like ever. She was just very controlling, trying to manipulate a lot of things, and I was just the type of person that I'm like, you're not going to tell me what to do.
Yeah.
I was really close with my dad. She didn't like how easygoing that relationship was. I think she was kind of jealous about it.
Yeah.
She'll never admit it, but it just came off that way.
Mm-hmm.
And so there was just one argument that I was just completely done. I couldn't do it anymore. I told her I'm done talking to her, and then she blocked me.
Oh my God, I forgot about that.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, she blocked me. And then that's just when we stopped talking. We didn't talk for like 4 years, probably a little bit more than that. And one day I got this random message that I thought was spam.
Yeah. Oh my God, yes.
And it was from her therapist saying, "Hey, Brenda, this is so-and-so, your mom's therapist. I wanted to reach out because I have been having sessions with your mom, and there's some things that aren't quite adding up, so I just wanted to reach out to you and get your story."
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't know how to take that, but just right away I was like, yeah, we can, like, I'll meet with you. I'll do that. But I was honestly like really nervous about it.
I was going to say, how did you feel getting that message? Because I put myself in that position and I don't know how I would feel. First of all, if I got that, I guess I'd be, because our moms are actually quite similar.
Yeah.
For as much
They
shit
are.
as they've probably talked about
Well,
each
that's
other.
probably why they don't like each
Yeah.
other, because they're so
Exactly.
similar.
They're super similar, actually, and they probably have very similar wounds that they're dealing with.
100%.
And I guess the first thing I would feel is shocked that my mom has even gone to, like, I would be shocked.
Yeah.
Like, I was shocked hearing your mom went.
I never would have thought that her instinct was to go to therapy. But I feel like probably as a parent, if neither of your kids like you and you just lost your family, you lost your husband.
Yeah.
Everything just happened at once, and it's been 4 years that have passed by and nobody's talked to you anymore. Maybe at a certain point you're like, dang, is it me? Am I the common denominator?
I hope that is the formula, because then
maybe it'll happen to you at some point.
Maybe I'll get a similar message.
Yeah.
But so you get this message, you're brave to say, sure, I'll go into this territory. Were you already in therapy when you got that message?
Oh yeah, I had been in therapy at that point for maybe 3 or 4 years.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was already healed. And in that time of my life, I was trying to get past the point of, I guess, to accept that I'm not going to have a mom at my wedding.
Yeah.
I'm not
Oh
going
my
to have
God.
a mom when I have a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the things that I was actually dealing with in that moment with my own therapist.
Was
So,
accepting it.
yeah, was accepting it. And then this text message came along and I was like, she's going to therapy?
I mean,
I
yeah.
never thought she would have done that.
It's a plot twist.
It was definitely a plot twist. So, yeah, I replied. We set up a Zoom and I told her my story and she was like, oh, wow, she never told me that. Oh, wow, she never told me that. I'm like, yeah, because that's just what she does. She doesn't want to say what she actually did wrong in her part of it. And that's how it's always been. And at that point, I got a little frustrated because I was like, she's just doing the same thing.
Yeah.
She's doing the same thing.
So, and it's interesting you say this because I actually had dinner with my sister and her husband last week, and we were talking about my mom. And like I said, your mom and my mom, super similar.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the main problems that I think we've both run into with our moms is that we don't feel like they're able to really take accountability for stuff. And just like you said, just being like, leaving stuff out.
Yeah.
Lying by
Them.
omission.
Yeah.
To shape the narrative in their favor. And it's interesting because over the last 4 years, something that I have wondered about is like, how much of it is really intentional and how much of it is them actually believing like that stuff didn't matter because they were so focused on their own hurt or their own feelings that they just like sincerely don't even think about the other stuff that affected you and didn't affect them necessarily.
Yeah.
So what happened after that? Like after the therapist is like, "Oh, I did not hear about any of that." And you're like, "Well, yeah. So that's the full story."
She said that she would talk to my mom. And she was like, is it okay if I tell her everything that you've told me now? And I was like, yes. It's not anything new that she's...
Yeah,
like,
she's gonna know about it.
She's known this. And maybe she's just choosing to forget about all of it. I don't know exactly. But, yeah. So after that, we set up a Zoom meeting with me, her, and my mom. I wanted to throw up.
Well, at least you weren't in the same room.
Bad. I know. I think if we were in the same room, it probably would not have been great, especially the first meeting after 4 years.
Yeah. The dynamic would have been a lot more tense.
Yeah, it would have been bad, especially because I didn't expect myself to be so triggered. Like, I was shaky once I got off of the Zoom, and I was frustrated. And even during the Zoom, we were explaining kind of like what happened at the end of it all and how we would always argue and how I never felt like she would hear me or any of that. And my mom would be like, oh, well, I don't remember any of that. That's not true. That's not true. And that's what set me off right away. That's what set me off. And
that
I was
would
like,
be triggering.
I was like, you're going to therapy, but yet you're choosing to just not remember any of these big things that actually happened that made both of your kids not talk to you anymore.
Yeah.
And then there was this one specific thing that she said when I was in high school. I don't remember if I've told you, but I was like 90 pounds. I was super skinny.
Yeah.
And she was like, did you gain weight or are you pregnant?
I do remember that.
Yeah.
I do. That was bad.
That's the one thing that has always stuck with me. She was very judgmental of my appearance a lot. And that was just one thing that always stuck with me. And I mentioned it during therapy. And she was like, I would never say that to you. I would never. And I was like, do you think I just made it up in my head?
Yeah, like, why would I say that?
Why would I want you to say that to me? Why would I just make that up?
Yeah.
And so the therapist was actually, she was like on my side the whole time. She was like, Angelica, she's saying something. She was like, you need to just listen. She's heard the same thing over and over, and she wants you to say something different.
What was your mom's reaction to that?
Just the same as it's always been.
To the therapist?
Yeah. She was just like, well, I just don't remember I don't remember saying any of this. I wouldn't see myself saying any of this. And then the therapist was like, okay, you've already said this, so now what's something different that you can say?
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And she was like, and then my mom was like, well, I'm sorry if I said any of that. And then she just went into, but I had such a hard childhood and I did this and
Oh
I
my
did that. And I was like,
God. That's the part
you
that would
can't
trigger
just
me.
say sorry.
But that is the part that I was telling you, like, when I had dinner with Jennifer and I was just like, do you think that they, like, literally find it justifiable? Because they're like,
Yeah.
but you don't understand, I'm hurt. And they don't get the point
100%.
that it's like, I understand you were hurt and you still did it. So
Right.
at the bottom line is, regardless of how you felt, you need to apologize for what you did.
Exactly.
And your motive actually doesn't matter because you
No.
did it. It doesn't matter if you did it intentionally or
Right.
not. It doesn't matter if you did it out of pain or not. You did it.
Yeah, exactly. And that's that. And you have to own up to it. And like, you hurt your daughter.
Yeah.
Don't you want to apologize for that? But it's just so deep. It goes so deep that she just doesn't know how to express emotion. We actually had a really deep conversation at breakfast the other day about all of this. And
So she did come around.
Yeah, she was telling me that, she was telling me more about her childhood, how her and my dad never experienced like someone giving them emotion, someone showing them love, doing all of that, which is why it was so hard for her to show love to me and my brother.
And emotion.
And literally any emotion besides anger.
Yeah, because one thing about my
Anger
mom
was
and
a
your
good
mom,
one.
both of them do not like showing vulnerability.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
They see it as weakness for sure. But yeah, that was a rough
And that
ride.
translated to us
I know.
for a long time.
It did.
I mean, I still have a lot of trouble with it.
Yeah, it's really hard.
So how did things start turning around? Was it because your mom finally just started being like, okay, I did it. I'm sorry about it. Let's move forward?
Yeah, she finally apologized because after that one Zoom meeting, we decided to do an in-person. And
oh my God.
I know. So we did an in-person therapy session, and I showed up already pissed off because
yeah, because you were triggered from the Zoom.
I was triggered from the Zoom. And then also after that Zoom, she went to my dad and she said, what are you telling her? Like, why are you trying to get her to hate me or to be mad at me? Or what are you doing to, like, what are you telling her?
Oh, God.
And I was like, you think people are just telling me things and I'm that vulnerable that I'm gonna accept it? I'm gonna be like, yeah, that's how I feel and not have any feelings of my own.
I will say my parents used to do that all the time.
Yes, it's so
they would
frustrating.
accuse the other of brainwashing us.
Yeah,
as
that
if
was her
we did
favorite
not
word.
have any kind of agency of our own.
Yeah.
They would always assume, and my dad did it too with my
Yep.
mom, and he would accuse her of tricking me into thinking our lives were a soap opera.
I think they truly think they're in a soap opera.
Well, yeah, and the funny thing is I was like, sweetie, if you think my mom is making this into a soap opera, you don't know me very well.
No,
because
exactly.
I did that all by myself.
Exactly.
Wow, that's so interesting though, and
Yeah.
it does give me hope, and I think that a lot of people listening will find that really interesting because
Yeah.
the fact is, it is quite an accomplishment for your mom to have done that.
100%. I never thought I would be here.
You do not hear about that happening very often, and I hate to generalize, but I will say, in my experience, I've observed this in a lot of Gen X parents, like parents of our parents' generation.
Yeah, they're stubborn.
Have such a hard time with accountability, just taking accountability for the actions and removing their motive out of it.
Yeah.
Because, again, your motive actually doesn't matter.
No.
What you did matters.
Exactly.
And if you can't own that, then there's just no path forward.
No.
But your mom came around, owned it, explained to you where she was coming from without making it a blame story.
Exactly.
Because I think that's really, it is a useful thing to get context.
It is, because I never knew any of that stuff. If I
Yeah.
knew all of that before, we probably would have connected more.
Yeah.
But the fact that she wasn't vulnerable enough to tell me where all of this was coming from, she would just always repeat like, oh, you don't know how hard we had it. Oh, you don't know how much I've done.
Well,
And
exactly.
I'm like,
Oh
well,
my
I don't
God.
know.
That
You
part.
won't tell me.
Yes, that is the other thing is like, you have no idea what I've sacrificed. And I'm like, no, I really don't, because I'm sorry, I can't name 5 things you sacrificed that don't just come with being a parent.
Exactly. I'm like, you chose to have me. I didn't choose to be here.
That is something that's so interesting. And actually, I think that's worth saying is like, yes, I do want to know the motive. So maybe I take back saying the motive doesn't matter, but how you present the motive, or your reasoning for doing stuff, matters very much.
Yeah.
Because if you are saying like, I did this because of my childhood wounds, okay, then be vulnerable, because guess what? You know my childhood wounds because you caused them.
You did them.
So I think it's fair that I know yours.
Yeah.
And then it's also going to help me understand you. And by the way, it's going to help me forgive you. You're going to get a lot further with me if you are rational, explain without blaming, and take accountability.
Yeah.
And it sounds like your mom did that.
Yeah, she definitely did. I mean, she obviously still has moments of just being like,
oh, it's so deep-rooted.
Thinking that she knows a little bit better. But I think she can tell now that when I'm kind of like getting irritated, because I mean, there's obviously the triggers, and I feel like she's came to understand triggers a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
And so when she sees me getting a little frustrated when she makes a comment or whatever, she backs off.
Yeah.
And she'll just kind of like give me my space. And she's definitely way more understanding. And we have lots of different, deeper conversations now. I feel like I actually have a mom and someone that I can come and like get advice from. I don't know where it's all coming from, but
that's amazing.
I'm taking advantage of it.
I mean, yeah, after a certain point, I wouldn't even question it. I would just be like, wow.
I'm just letting it happen. Whatever happens, happens.
Well, that's amazing.
I know.
I love that story. I love that story because it is proof that you can take time apart from your parents. It doesn't necessarily mean it's forever.
No.
I think a lot of people, especially in my family, have seen the space I've created between my mom and me, or my dad and me.
Yeah.
And they say, like, I can't believe you just, like, your mom's dead to you. And I'm like, I've never said she's dead to me. I've never said she's dead to me.
Space, and that's okay.
I'm saying that I need certain things that she cannot give to me right now.
And that's the thing. Everybody should have boundaries. If you don't have boundaries, and if you're letting people just walk all over you, that's something super deep in you, and you need to figure that out. Because I don't care if it's family, friends, a stranger, whoever it is. If you're not treating me right, I'm not going to let you into my life.
Well, and the other thing is, it's so important to hold those boundaries, even when it's painful, even when you have to ask yourself, like, is my mom going to be at my wedding?
I know.
Is my mom going to be there when I have a baby?
Yeah.
But you have to hold strong, because who knows if your mom would have made the progress she would have if you had not been true to what you needed.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
That was incentive for her to do her own healing. And it, you know, the important thing is she came to decide to do that on her own, which not most parents do, but
I know.
I love that.
Yeah. So I'm excited about the future.
Oh.
We'll see.
All right. Well, it gives me inspiration. Let's talk about dating. This is one area where you have not had much better luck than me.
Fast forward.
No, here's the thing. Here's the thing about it. What I love about you in dating is that you will go there. I will not. Like, when I get frustrated with dating, I will just be like, I'm clocking out for another 7 months. But you have gone there, and you have gone through way worse breakups than me. I mean, let's talk about the main one. We've already decided we're not going to say his name.
Yeah.
But there is a relationship that you were in. What did we say we're calling him?
Nathaniel.
Duh.
Nathaniel.
I'm going to call him Nate for short.
I like calling people by their government names.
Okay,
so.
We'll call him Nathaniel.
Nathaniel.
Nathaniel was Brenda's boyfriend for a really long time, starting when we were... How old were you when you guys got together?
I don't remember. We were together for about 6 years. I want to say I was like 21.
I was going to say, it was like early 20s.
21, 22.
Early 20s, they get together. Their relationship blooms. He's so cute. I always said that. Much to his dismay, probably. But I always said it. And you guys were together for a long time. You end up living together. You end up getting a dog together.
Oh.
What went wrong?
Honestly, I feel like looking back, the first year that we were together, it probably shouldn't have gone further than that.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
This we have not discussed. You don't think it should have gone past the first year?
I mean, I'm so grateful that it did.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a lot of me convincing him to be in the relationship.
Oh.
He kept trying. I mean, he didn't keep trying. Like, he's an adult. He knows what he's doing. He was making his choices.
Yeah.
But there was a lot of push and pull on if we should be in the relationship, if we should be together, should we get back together after breaking up. And like, we would do that, break up and get back together a lot. And I never felt chosen. Like, I never felt like he actually and truly wanted to be with me until probably maybe like the last year of our relationship, maybe a little bit earlier.
That's ironic.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. That's very ironic.
Yeah, it's very weird. But we had a beautiful relationship. There were some very low lows. And at the end of it all, I feel like the last year we grew apart for sure. He signed up for a bodybuilding competition, and that was like the one goal that he had always wanted to fulfill and to accomplish. And he got hurt and got really depressed. And it was hard for me to pull him out of that, especially because our connection wasn't at its greatest at that point.
Yeah.
So it just kind of spiraled from there. And yeah, we grew apart.
And then you broke up. Was this before you had started going to therapy or after?
After. I actually, the first therapy session that I went to because me and Daniel had one of our breakups. And I showed up and I just... Dang it. Nathaniel. It's fine.
I doubt he's an avid viewer of the Kameron Show.
No one will know. No one will know. Although he did say that he watches my podcast.
Shout out.
Shout out. Okay. I don't even remember what I was saying. What was I saying? I forgot.
I got so distracted because I was like, ooh. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
So the bodybuilding.
The first time you went to therapy.
Yeah.
Actually.
Oh, yeah. The first time I went to therapy, I literally showed up and I just started crying in her chair.
Oh my. And that is how you know you are ready to go to therapy.
That's when I was like, I'm breaking down. I can't do this anymore. I need to go to therapy. I found her on Psychology Today.
Oh my God, me too.
I've found all of my therapists on there. It's the
great
best.
Resource.
It's a great website.
If you're ever looking for a therapist, can't recommend it enough.
Yeah.
It's a great database.
Yeah, I love it. So, yeah, it was a lot.
So therapy helped you do that.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting to hear you say that. Well, I think what you mean, and tell me if I'm wrong, the way I'm hearing it, is you're grateful that it went past the first year, but if you knew then what you know now, it would not have gone past the first year.
Not at all. No, because now a person doesn't plan a date with me ahead of time, and I'm like, bye.
See, and this is one thing that I love, that I have seen you grow. I mean, obviously, I've seen you grow in a lot of ways because when I first met you, you were in high school and now you're 31.
Oh, I was a baby.
But one of the ways that I really love to watch you in the dating world is you've changed so much with what you accept. Because I think the reason I bring up the Nathaniel story
That doesn't even matter.
Yeah, it doesn't even matter. His name's Daniel. Whatever.
His name's Daniel.
And by the way, we're not villainizing him in any way, so we can just say his name. Daniel, if you're watching, we love you.
Yeah, my whole family. He knows.
We're dropping the mask. Mm-hmm. We love you. You're hot. Great. So, anyways, the reason why I bring up the whole story with Daniel is because it almost could not be written better like a TV show. We were at dinner like 2 years ago. I'm sorry. It has to be said. It is crazy because I'm only going to speak to what I experienced in this story, okay? And
Yeah.
I took you out to dinner for your birthday, so it must have been like November.
Yeah.
And we're at ice cream. I remember so vividly, and I'm like, whatever happened to Daniel?
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, I can't help but think there is a strong connection there. And there like always was. But then ironically, as if the head writer upstairs had a sadistic sense of humor, what happens?
I don't know. You tell it.
It turns out that for a moment we think that Daniel might possibly could be written back in. And then just like that, fate intervenes. And Daniel Nathaniel, it turns out is going to be a dad with someone else.
Yeah.
But here's the thing about it that I love. The thing about it that I love is that I think you could have, if you were in a previous state of mind, convinced yourself that it was something for you to overcome.
Yeah.
Just to be with someone. I mean, not even specifically him, because it's really not about Daniel. I think that's the reason why I'm like, I don't care, we'll say his name. Because it's really not about him.
Right.
It's about the fact that once you found this out and you were just like, that is simply never going to work.
Right.
So I'm going to let that idea go.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was such a mature, healed thing to do. Because I think with a lot of other people, if you started romanticizing an ex, whoever it is,
yeah,
it would be so easy to say like, well, this is what's going on in his life, but like, I've written this story already that we're meant to be together. And so like, I guess I just have to learn how to cope with that. You're just like, oh no.
Past me would have crashed out.
Yeah. And it would have ruined your fucking life, at least for a moment in time.
Yeah.
And instead you were just kind of like, oh, damn.
Oh, damn,
okay.
Daniel.
Okay. Damn, Daniel. Back at it again with the kid on the way. It's fine. But it did mean like, you had to change the narrative in your head.
Completely.
And you just had to move on. But I admire so much that you were able to do that. Because, again, that would be so hard, especially because of the history and because he really is a good guy.
He's a great guy.
But you know what you want. You know what you're willing to sign up for.
Yeah.
You know what you're not. I love that.
Yeah.
And by the way, it's not like you did it because there was something else imminent waiting that you're like, you know what, it's okay because I have this going on anyway.
No.
You've been through trials and tribulations.
Too much, to be honest. I could write a book.
You could write a book. There have been DJs. There have been so many guys. God. Avoidance galore. Let's talk about one thing that I find fascinating because you are one of the only people I know who's done it, which is dating a couple.
Yeah, that was an interesting time in my life.
You dated... I mean, tell me about them. I honestly, it's like, I don't even care how it started. You could talk about how it started, but like, explain to me the dynamic, because I think that is the most interesting part, because how does dating a couple even work? Like, were they already an established couple? I guess I do kind of want to know the origin story.
I feel like at that point in my life, up until now, I'm just doing whatever. I don't even care anymore.
You are so...
I'm just like, if an opportunity presents itself, I'm going towards it.
Which I love.
Yeah. So, yeah, they had already been in a relationship. We actually met on the Field app.
Oh, yeah.
Field.
That's right.
FEELD.
FEELD.
Yeah. At that point, I'm doing whatever. I don't care anymore. I've been single for too long. And so... just right away, we clicked.
Yeah.
They were like besties. Honestly, it was like an instant friendship, an instant connection. And they live together. They have their own situation going on. I think he has a kid. Yeah, he has a kid. And so, yeah, they've been together for a long time. I don't remember exactly how long. I don't really get into it.
Yeah, I don't remember either.
I don't know. And so, yeah, we hung out for the first time. We went to STK. We met for happy hour. We got some food. Turns out me and her are like the same person. She's also an esthetician.
Oh, I thought you were going to say she's also a big back.
Oh.
She's also an esthetician.
Yeah, she's also an esthetician. I feel like we have similar like qualities and traits and all of that. So he definitely has a type. And yeah, so we went to SDK, we ate, we got to know each other.
And the chemistry was there.
Yeah, it was just like right away. We were just like homies. We were friends.
That's so fascinating.
I know. And so after that, we went to next door to Orchid and they host an R&B night. So I think we went on a Thursday. And yeah, we got some drinks and we were just dancing, having a good time, singing the songs, and we got along great. And then the next few times we hung out, they live in Colorado Springs, so it was like I had to plan a whole day pretty much to go see them.
That part seems like a lot.
It was, and that's eventually why I just didn't end up going any further.
Yeah.
But yeah, I went over to their apartment the next time and he made dinner. And yeah, we were just hanging out. I don't even remember. I think they were playing Mario Kart.
But the vibes were there.
The vibes were there.
The chemistry was chemistry-ing.
Yeah.
And so the main reason it didn't work out is because they're too far away.
Yes. Literally, that's the only reason. He still kind of talks to me sometimes.
Interesting.
On TikTok.
So what would you say, like, if you had to say the biggest pros and the biggest cons about the situation? Like, would you do this again if it were a different couple who lived closer and the vibes also were right?
Like the same.
Yeah.
At this point, if the opportunity presents itself, I'm going to take it.
Oh my God, okay.
I don't know. I'm just experiencing as much as I can while I'm single and just doing whatever. I don't know. It doesn't matter to me anymore. But I feel like pros and cons. Pros, you have a guy and a girl. Like, hello?
Oh, I remember when you told me about this. This was also the first I ever heard of you, like, being open to women. And I was just like, back up the truck.
You're like, wait, you like girls?
I remember so clearly we were at La Loma. And I said, wait, rewind. It's not even the couple thing.
It was getting a steamy conversation.
And you're just sitting there with your ice water like, oh, yeah. And I was just like, okay,
by the way, I like girls.
Yeah, moving on.
I mean, I had interactions before that, but I don't know.
Hadn't discussed
I guess,
yet.
yeah, we just never...
Obviously, I don't care. I'm just like, was shocked.
Yeah, I guess it just never came up. And that, probably prior to that, I was just hanging around dudes. I don't know.
Yeah, I know. And so, yeah, that was one thing that I was just like, oh. But you're right. Like, if you are bi, then... hey, you have one of each.
I love men, and girls are so pretty.
I mean,
they're beautiful.
Who can deny that?
I know. They're so beautiful.
I think what's so interesting is that I guess what I would expect to be an issue with this is that if they were an established couple, there would be jealousy, but like, were there specific boundaries that were put in place to make it work? Yeah,
I mean, obviously, like, we didn't want to hang out with just one person by ourselves. Like,
except for them, because they live together,
right? You want to make everyone feel included. That's kind of like the end game for all of that. But we did talk a lot in the beginning, and I feel like this is just a thing that's in the lifestyle and that type of community, is just communication has to be there.
Totally.
If it's not there, it's not going to work out. It's going to be messy. It's going to be toxic. It's going to be all the things. So, as long as you're good on communication, then usually everything just flows. So,
wow.
Yeah, it was interesting.
Well, I love that, and the consideration of everybody's feelings and stuff like that.
Yeah.
What cons would you say? Besides the distance thing, obviously in this specific situation, but like I guess what my question is, if I'm being more specific, is would you be, if you're ultimately looking, or do you maybe even feel like you're ultimately looking for a long-term relationship with one person? And would this get in the way? Or if the opportunity presented itself and it was possibly like a long-term situation, would you also be into that?
Honestly, I thought about that when I was talking to them. Because in that environment, I could see myself talking to them for a long time.
Yeah.
But it was just a distance that it didn't let us further the connection and see where it could possibly go. But I feel like with couples, they often say they're not looking for something long term with someone. They kind of just want something consistent. That's kind of like their,
Yeah.
or at least the couples I've met. I mean, there's obviously couples that want someone else to
Like a
join
third.
and be long term. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. But I don't know. Like, I don't know if there would be any cons necessarily.
Okay.
I feel like if the opportunity presented itself, I would go
I
towards
love
it.
that.
But
I
I don't
love that you
know.
are sincerely just like, I'm so open
I'm just
to
open to whatever.
literally will something come along that is interesting to me and worth my time, please. Trust me, I get that.
I feel like in the long term, I do see myself with just one man.
But in the meantime,
I'm single.
I love that.
I'm here.
She's single and she's ready to tingle.
Tingle. Ew.
Oh my God. Well, obviously, I'm obsessed with you. I'm obsessed with how open you are because you're just like me. This is how I know that your podcast is probably going to go pretty far because you are quite an open book, which I think becomes a lot easier to do after you've gone on
to therapy.
A healing journey.
Yeah.
Because, or as my kid Logan calls it, a healing journey after Whitney on Salt Lake City. But it makes it a lot easier because you are just like, yeah, this is who I am. This is what I've been through.
Yeah.
Chances are most people can identify with something that I would have been embarrassed about in the past.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And there's just no point. Like, there's really no conversation I won't have, as you know. I mean, this conversation we're having now literally could take place at La Loma. Like, this is what we talk about regularly. So if you're wondering, God, Kameron goes on so many dinner dates. This is the kind of conversations that are happening. But now I'm so fortunate. I have people like Brenda who are like, yeah, I'll come share it with the world.
Yeah, I don't mind. I feel like once you have gone on that healing journey, you've faced so many parts of yourself that you could have been embarrassed about. And now when you get past that, I'm not embarrassed about anything. Like, I will literally talk to anyone about any part of my life that they ask me.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I did ask before you came, I was like, is there anything off the table? And she said no. But I also feel like being able to own that about yourself is almost like one of the highest forms of self-love.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I will be open about X, Y, and Z about my life. And I have come to truly love myself in such a way that if you have a problem with it, I have no problem defending myself if I need to.
At all, because we truly know ourselves.
Yeah. Or walking away entirely and being like, if you have a problem with me, fuck you.
Yeah.
I think that's why. Anyway, this is all to say I so appreciate your openness and spilling the tea. Which, speaking of spilling,
there's a lot of tea.
It's time for us to play a game.
Okay.
It's time for us to play Sip, Savor, Spill.
Okay.
I think you already know the deal, but there's 3 jars, 3 different levels of deepness, personal questions. You get to pick the order. You get to pick the questions.
Okay.
We'll both answer the questions.
Oh, both.
We'll both answer the questions. Yeah.
I love this.
So, and you know, if you have an answer to it right away, you say it first. So if you want me to answer it, I'll do it first. But sip is the lowest, savor is the middle, and then spill are the deep questions. So we can go in whatever order you want.
I'm going to go in alphabetical order.
Oh. I guess I've never even thought about what. So savor first?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're starting in the middle. You are the first person to ever say that. That's unique. Okay, we're starting with the savor question. We're starting in the middle.
Oh, when did you first feel truly independent from your family?
Oh,
that's a good one.
What is your answer to that?
When I felt truly independent, I think it was honestly when I was with Daniel, because he helped me grow in so many ways that my family wasn't able to. And so that kind of led me to being a little bit more independent, living on my own, even though I was with him.
Yeah.
And just learning a lot about life in general, how to have a healthier, just life in general, habits and all of that. So he helped me a lot. And that led me to being just fully independent now.
Damn. That's
Daniel.
So good. Damn, Daniel. Damn, Nathaniel. You know what? I felt the most independent from my family, or when did I first feel independent?
Yeah.
It was definitely when I moved out on my own. I
Yeah.
mean, and I wrote about this in the book. It came at the time when my mom had the affair. You remember. My mom was married to Brenda's uncle, Mario, and then she had an affair with a criminal.
I'm pretty sure he's still traumatized
I'm sure he
by
is.
that.
I think I am too. I think it traumatized the shit out of all of us. My mom's probably traumatized because what happened is she had an affair. She cheated on Mario with this guy, Rob. Rob ended up being a convicted felon and tried to kill her. I'm sorry, that is the tea. That is what happened, and I am in my Lisa Rinna. I'm talking about everything in detail. Also, the whole thing's in my book.
Oh, man.
But that's what happened, and that was my 13th reason why. That was my last straw living with my mom. I had gone on a whole amusement park of rides living with my mom over the 20 years that I lived with her. And this was the final straw. I was just like, you had me living with a convicted felon who... I
can't believe it. You made it alive. You made it out alive.
I made it out alive. In fact, I will say the night that he tried to... So she woke up and he was feeling around her neck, and she jumped up and she's like, "What are you doing?" And if you remember in that, I don't know if you ever went to that house. Their bedroom was in the basement, and I was sleeping at my friend Kip's house that night, and Jennifer was at home though. And my mom ran up the stairs from the basement into the living room, and then Jennifer got up, and I woke up because I had been partying the night before. I woke up face down on Kip's couch or Kip's floor, and I had a shit ton of missed calls.
Oh my God.
And
that's terrifying.
Text messages, and they were basically just like, we're at your Aunt Brenda's, we're at Brittany's house. Ugh. And this is what happened. And so it was a whole ordeal. My mom wanted to move out. Your uncle, crazy enough, took my mom back. Helped her get away from Rob. He wants love so bad. God bless him. And that whole storyline, I was just like, if I'm going to be involved in a soap opera, there's no way I'm not the main character. This is 100%. Not going to work for me anymore.
Yeah.
That fall, 2011, the fall of 2011, bought my first condo. I was 20 years old. I bought it for $59,000. It was a shithole. Thank God Mario was so nice because he then fixed the condo up for me. And I moved in, and it was the first time I lived on my own, and it was so scary.
Yeah.
Lived in that little complex behind the Vitamin Cottage in Green Mountain. And
I remember that vitamin. Is that still there?
It's still there. Wow, yeah. Okay. And I felt so free. Yeah. Unfortunately, I also was in the depths of mitigating my grief about my cousin dying through a whole addiction to anonymous hookups. So it also gave me a lot more opportunity to do that, but I learned a lot of lessons from it. Again, all in the book, A Mural in Space, a Gay Boy's Memoir.
That's such a good book.
But that was the first time I felt truly independent because I was, and I didn't have to answer to anyone when I would sneak out in the middle of the night. I didn't have to lie to anyone.
You could just have people over.
I could just have anyone over.
That's the best part.
Yeah. And it was amazing. And I look back on that era, and I still remember every CD that I was listening to at the time because
CDs.
The music felt fuller to me. Like everything felt more intense because everything felt like it was mine.
Yeah.
Like I had a different ownership of the world.
Right. And I feel like that's a lot of people's first time feeling independent is when they're finally out of their parents' house.
It can be exhilarating.
Yeah, it is.
And
then
it was
you can
for
just
me.
be away from all the family stuff and just do things on your own. I could eat whatever I want.
What was it like for you the first time you actually lived completely by yourself?
I was scared. I remember I had just talked about this on my podcast. I don't know. I mean, since going over the breakup and doing all of that, I was scared of like sleeping alone.
I bet.
I just didn't want to sleep alone. Yeah. I didn't want to do any of that. And now 4 years into being single, I'm like, I don't get everyone out of here. I don't want anyone in my bed.
I feel that way.
I'm good in my little space. I'm okay. But yeah, I mean, overall, it was great to just force myself to be alone.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's what everyone needs at some point in their life is to just be alone in between the breakups and between the relationships, and
I think so too.
just face your fears and just face yourself, no matter how boring you are.
Yeah. Kudos to you if you moved out from your parents and then just like got married or something and you never lived by yourself.
Yeah.
But I would not trade living by myself for
Me
anything.
neither.
I think it's when I learn the most about myself.
Exactly.
And you certainly, just like you said with Daniel, like you can learn a lot about yourself just by getting out of your family's house.
Yes.
And moving in with someone else. But there is just nothing comparable to living truly on your own.
Just on your own.
That was a good start.
I know, that was good. Okay.
SASI, sip.
Oh, true. A, B, C.
I know. I'm like, wow, this should not be this hard. Wow.
What snack or drink transports you back to childhood?
Oh, my God. You know what? I was talking about this the other day. I used to love making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich with Doritos in it. And sometimes I still will.
You know, I was never that person because there was...
You're like, because I'm neurotypical?
I mean, I didn't... There was a point in my life where I didn't like my food touching.
Oh, so maybe now, you're neurodivergent.
I was. Yeah. And now I don't care. I don't care anymore.
I love mixing up my food.
Yeah, me too. I will. I'm like, everything goes together on here. Just put it all together.
I know. That's how I feel at like Thanksgiving and stuff.
For me, Altoids. Altoids.
That reminds you of your childhood?
Yes, because I used to eat them up in middle school.
Oh my God.
I loved those. The really like sour
middle
ones.
School. What about like childhood?
Oh, childhood? Tortas.
Oh my God.
Because
that sounds so good right now.
I know, that sounds really good.
Oh my God.
My family was really, really poor. Mm-hmm. And so we would go to Huntington Beach for a little getaway. And whenever we went to Huntington Beach, my mom would bring like our little skateboards and skates and stuff to play over there. And she would always bring a whole cooler of like tortas and watermelon and sodas and Capri Suns and all of that.
Vacation.
I know. And I remember I would be like coming over on the little skateboard or just like walking over or whatever. And then she would be feeding me the tortas every time that I would go over.
That's so cute.
So yeah, and she would make it with a bunch of mayo and delicious ham. I don't even know where she got that ham. It was probably like the cheapest ham that there was at the store.
Yeah, but it's one of those things where it's so good to you because it's so familiar.
Yeah, and then she would put queso fresco in it, some mustard, jalapenos. And yeah, that's about it. Probably like a $5 sandwich.
That's amazing. Yeah, you could easily make that today.
Oh, 100%. I love those. I still make them.
I mean, I think that sandwich makes so much more sense than my peanut butter and jelly with Doritos in it. I would still pick my peanut butter and jelly with Doritos. I feel like that's a lot of
people's like childhood thing though, is putting chips in their sandwiches.
I used to love that. I used to love the little do you know what Schwann's is? I think a lot of people...
That sounds familiar.
I think a lot of people don't know, but it was like a yellow truck, and they would do food delivery to houses in the 90s.
Oh.
You don't really see them as much anymore. I don't know if it doesn't exist or what. But when I was a kid, we obviously lived in Coal Creek Canyon, up in the mountains west of Boulder, and it was like 45 minutes into the mountains, but Schwann's would still go up there.
Oh, wow.
And because they would have a bunch of frozen foods, it was really nice because then you didn't have to bring frozen foods from like Arvada to the mountains.
Oh, yeah. And then it's melted by the time you get there.
So we would order food from the Schwann's man, and they had little pizzas, which were pretty much the same as those little pizzas that Red Baron sells now, like those little personal pan ones.
Yeah.
But they were a little different. I have to say they were better, but maybe it's just because nostalgia.
I know.
But I used to love those little pizzas.
What did they have on them? Was it just pepperoni?
I just like the ones with pepperoni, and it was like little pepperoni chunks. It wasn't like full pepperonis.
I love pizza.
So good. And then I also, when I think about this, I think about fruit roll-ups.
Oh, fruit roll-ups were delicious.
It used to just be like the highest form of currency.
It was. And it would just be hanging out of people's mouths.
It really was. Oh, fruit by the foot.
Oh wait, what's that? What's fruit roll up?
Isn't a fruit roll up is like the square.
Oh,
and remember,
yeah.
sometimes they would have things you could punch
yes.
out.
Okay, yeah, I remember that. I remember that now. Yeah. Those were delicious.
Or the tongue tattoos.
The tongue tattoos were fun. Yeah. That was my first tattoo.
What was your favorite candy when you were a kid?
Like a kid?
Yeah.
What was it? Oh, they were those like little Mexican suckers.
I fucking knew you were going to say.
I'm Mexican, I don't know. I
did not even want to put words in your mouth, but as soon as I said, I'm picturing like a little mango sucker with chili on it.
It was the mango ones or the watermelon ones. Those were delicious.
That is so on brand. I mean, look, you were a Mexican girl in California. Like, duh. Mine was Fun Dip. I was a white boy with a bowl haircut in the mountains.
You know what? It's fine.
It's fine. Okay, now that we've gone down memory lane.
Okay, next one.
Pick a spill question as our last question of the day.
All right.
Okay.
What's a belief you have totally changed your mind about over time?
A belief?
A belief. What's a belief you have totally changed your mind about over time?
Oh.
That's interesting.
I think that for me, like, okay, so I'm going to think about, like, what are things that I believed when I was a kid that I do not believe now?
Yeah.
When I was a kid, I was raised to be religious, for one thing. Mm-hmm. I am no longer a religious person. Mm-hmm. So let me just talk about, like, the most fundamental definition of belief to me, which is my mom raised us. It's interesting, actually, because my mom was raised Catholic.
Same.
Baptized me Catholic. So I had a Catholic baptism as a kid. But then after that, she was like, we're not going to be Catholic. And my dad wasn't religious, so he's like, whatever your mother says.
I feel like that happens a lot, though.
Yeah, but she still felt very strongly about Jesus. So since I was a child, when I was like probably 4 or 5, I started going to church it was called Chapel in the Hills, and it's a little church in Coal Creek. I'm sure it's still there. And there was a little program called Sparkies. And so I was
interesting.
I was a Sparky.
Okay.
And we would go every Wednesday night, and we would have we would watch a movie, like a VeggieTales movie or like a Christian cartoon, and they would make popcorn for us and fruit punch, and we would memorize Bible verses. It was basically just Sunday school, but on Wednesday evenings to give our parents a break. Sense. And then once you got done with that, you move on to Awana, and we had these little vests. I look back on it now, and I'm like,
was it a cult?
A cult. It was like Boy Scouts, but for Jesus. And so we had these vests, and on the vests we had these crowns, and you would get a bronze, a silver, and a gold, I think. And then you would earn jewels to put on your crowns by memorizing Bible verses.
Okay.
And you could get patches and all this kind of shit.
Interesting.
And so I was raised from the time I was young to be a follower of Christianity and Jesus. And then as I went into my teen years, of course, this is also in the book, I started going to the Pentecostal church, which you didn't even know me yet.
No.
But I literally went at this church by Brother Kameron. It was extreme. This was a church where people spoke in tongues. This was an intense ass church.
That's scary.
And I will say, I used to be a lot more bitter about the whole thing than I am now. Now I look back and I'm like, no, these people really believed in what they were 100%, saying.
100%. Yeah.
They didn't have malicious intent.
Yeah.
And my breaking point, and I've said this before, and it's in the book, my breaking point was my pastor saying, we were doing like a night about teen issues. And one was fornication. And the pastor said, if you fornicate, you will go to hell with the liars, the thieves, and the homosexuals. I'm sitting in this discussion. I'm 16 years old. And I'm just like,
well,
that's a wrap, kids.
Yeah. Let's wrap this up. Let's go home.
And I told my mom, I'm not going back there anymore. And I had just come out, because I came out when I was 16, and I was just like, that is so not right. Like, I know in my soul that's not right. And for my whole life leading up to this point, I've had adults telling me what I should believe about a slew of different topics.
Yeah.
Abortion, pregnancy, sex, homosexuality, whatever.
Yeah.
And that was the moment that a fundamental belief in me changed to where I was just like, I know what's right for me better than any of these adults.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't purport to know everything in the world. I don't purport to know how the world got here or where it's going or who's in control. But I know that I know better than these adults what's right for me.
And that's crazy to say sometimes.
Oh, it felt crazy.
Because they always tell us that they know what we should be doing and our next steps and all of that they know better. But everyone has their own journey. So stop telling me what to do.
It all just became so clear to me how much of this religion and how much of these religious conversations were just centered around fear.
Yeah.
And it was to keep us in line. Mm-hmm. I mean, did you ever hear of the Hell House?
I don't know.
At Halloween,
I'm scared.
This church, I mean, and it's a very Pentecostal thing. This church didn't believe in taking the youth group to haunted houses.
Okay.
And so they created what they considered to be like an equivalent fun activity to go to around Halloween, which was called the Hell House.
Okay.
I'm not kidding. You can look this up.
I'm scared.
There was at least one in Denver, possibly more, but essentially it was a haunted house of Christian horrors. So in one room,
terrifying,
a lady's getting an abortion and then she goes to hell. In another room, a gay wedding is happening and then they go to hell. It's the Hell House of sins.
Whoa.
And it's all designed to make kids afraid.
Scared. Yeah.
Of if you commit these sins, you're going to hell.
Right.
I just remember when this shift happened in my brain at 16, I was just like, it was the most empowering thing that's probably ever happened to me.
Yeah. And that's good that happened when you were younger.
Yeah.
Because who knows if you were still there. You would be in a cult right now, probably.
Yeah. And you know what? To each their own. If this helps you get through your life on Earth, that is, guess what? We're in the Hell House.
Everyone has their own journey.
We're in the Hell House.
Yeah,
we're
literally.
living in it. ICE, they're going to hell, actually. The president, he's going to hell, actually. So
oh my God,
whatever you believe is the Hell House, that's on you. For me, it made me realize I could either live in fear or I could live by embracing what makes me feel whole and complete and good.
And I hope a lot of people choose that instead of living in fear, because there are a lot of people that live in fear and their whole life just passes them by. And it's so sad to see.
That is my biggest fear.
That is my biggest fear, too. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm like, whatever opportunity presents itself.
Let's talk about it. Yeah. No, that is one way we are so similar.
Yeah, I agree. My belief, I think, is, I mean, my mom would always tell me, like, oh, you don't need anybody. You don't need anybody. You can do everything on your own. Mm-hmm. You don't need to ask anybody, blah, blah, blah. Like, pretty much just telling me to not be vulnerable. Mm-hmm. And I really carried that with me for just like a whole, I don't even know how long it's been. Honestly, I feel like I've finally been vulnerable within the last 5 or 6 years.
Yeah.
So it's been with me my whole life of just like, I don't need anyone. I don't need to show people the soft part of me. I don't need to cry in front of anybody. I don't need to do all of that. And I feel like that comes a lot with just our culture, unfortunately.
For sure.
We shouldn't be crying. We should be doing it all ourselves. We can't rely on anybody. We can't trust men. We can't do any of that. So I feel like once I finally just decided to put that to the side and be like, you know what, that's all just fear talking. Obviously, my mom and everybody else who believes in that has been through something and it's totally valid.
Yeah.
But there has to be a certain point where you have to move past that and be able to let people in.
Yeah.
Because if you don't let people in, then what type of relationships are you going to have? What type of friendships are you going to have? What type of just life in general are you going to have?
Yeah.
So I think once I finally accepted that, I'm like, you know what? It is okay to need people sometimes. It is okay to ask for help. It's, it's just okay to be yourself and be soft sometimes and not just like big dog all the time.
I know. And you know
That's the
what?
hard
That
part.
is harder for me. That
It's
is harder
hard.
for me.
It is hard.
Because you're right. I mean, it was instilled on us
Yeah,
both
it
from
was.
such a young age. I mean, I
Yeah.
think of my mom saying, if you start crying, I'll give you something to cry about.
Yeah.
Like, that
Yeah.
is
There's no
completely
reason
the
that you should be
culture.
crying right now. Yeah.
I mean, and I carried it into adulthood.
Same.
My friend Mackenzie, when we lived together, we've talked about this. I had a rule in our house. She wasn't allowed to cry unless it was in her room. Unless somebody had died.
Because it does make you so uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I've been there. I'm like, when someone else is crying, I'm like, okay, I'm going to be over here. I'll leave you alone for a little bit. When in the whole time, like, you should be supportive of them. You should be talking to them. That's kind of what sparks deeper conversations and deeper connections. So that was always really hard for me. And even now, it still is a little bit hard. I just talked to a couple of my friends about this.
Oh, yeah.
I'm still actively working on it, on letting people completely in. I am known for disappearing when things get hard and just like
checking out.
I completely check out. I like to heal myself on my own and be in my own little bubble until I feel better, then I can show up again.
Yeah.
But
and
my
to
friends,
a certain extent,
exactly.
You gotta.
Exactly. And my friends are like, well, no, you don't have to disappear. Like, you don't have to completely disappear. And I'm like, I know I should ask you guys for help sometimes. So I mean, you should definitely be able to self-soothe and to be on your own and do all the things, but I think there is beauty in letting people fully in and just to fully get to know you.
Yeah, and it is a work that it is something you have to practice. It's a work in progress always, because
It's
ultimately,
hard.
like you said, it's a balance. You
Mm-hmm.
certainly don't want to be codependent with your friends.
Exactly.
And you should definitely be able to self-soothe.
100%.
And you need to know the context of when you should ask for help.
Mm-hmm. I totally agree.
And you don't have to know all the time.
Yes.
I think the most important thing is to know that there's a balance you should be pursuing. And if you get the balance wrong sometimes, that's okay.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that you're unhealed, actually.
I agree.
Because if you know what you need to work on, that is the most important part of being healed.
Yeah. As long as you're self-aware and all of those types of things. I feel like it's okay when you have good intentions and all of that. But I feel like just me being a Scorpio and me just being in this like stage of my life, I do tend to just process everything on my own.
Yeah.
And
same.
outside of that, I'm always talking to my friends. I'm always doing all of that. And then it's probably just weird for them that I'm talking to them all the time. And then I go through something in my life and I'm gone. I'm not posting. I'm not doing anything. I just end up taking a break from my phone.
Totally.
And they're like, well, you could just let us know instead of disappearing. And I'm like, I mean, I could just take a quick second to be like, hey, I'm not feeling my best. I'm gonna check out for a little bit. So,
but it's easier said than done.
It's easier said than
done.
done.
You were raised a certain way, but it is about being intentional.
Yeah.
And that's just part of adulting.
Yeah. We're actively working.
Wow. We savored, we sipped, and we spilled in that order.
Yay.
Wow, this was such a lovely conversation.
So much fun.
Not unlike most of our conversations.
No, it's always like this.
Before we sign out for the week, is there anything that you want to leave our friends at home with?
Well, check out my podcast.
That's right. What's it called again?
Growth.bites with a Z on Instagram. We do also have TikTok, and we're obviously posting our videos on YouTube. So all of that is linked in my Instagram. We're doing that, and I'm also an esthetician. I do brows and body waxing and lash lifts and all the things. So I do that part-time. I'm self-employed. And so if you need beauty things, I'm over there in 5 Points, not too far away.
That's right. And she's so good. You've done a facial for me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've been an esthetician for like 9 years now.
I was going to say, and that was forever ago. So you have a lot of years under your belt.
Yeah.
We will, of course, be tagging Brenda. So you'll know exactly where to find her. And her new podcast, Growth Bites with a Z.
Yes.
All right. Well, Brenda, thank you for coming over.
Thanks for inviting me.
I look forward to joining you on Growth Bites.
I'm so excited to have you on there.
It'll be
a moment.
A moment in time.
Yay.
Girl. All right, friends. Thank you for joining us. I can't wait to see you next Thursday. And as always, live your best life. Don't be a dick. I love you. Good night.